Okay, welcome back everybody to some Pokemon TCG Live. Today we're going to be opening some more packs. I was actually planning to make a deck with you all and do some battles, see how that goes, see what the battle pass is up to, the kind of quests we have and the points we get and whatnot, and just figure that out with y'all. But I was talking with one of my siblings, and they had been opening some packs and had some codes, so I was like, I might as well run through them, get some more cards. Honestly, is probably good for building a deck, unless we want to use some of the pre-made ones. But yeah, so that's what we've got right here. They're pretty much, yeah, so they're all, it looks like Scarlet and Violet. We've got a bunch of Paldea Evolved, and then I think just one Stellar Crown actually. Yeah, they're all Paldea Evolved. So yeah, we're gonna go through and collect them. Hopefully, I hope we don't have any issues. I actually had opened a few packs on previously when I was recording, and we had, I don't know, it like all the cards were black. It was just weird, and they weren't showing up, and yeah, couldn't figure that out. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Honestly, it was a blessing in disguise, because I had my mic muted when I was recording all that, so I would have gotten to the end and been not very happy. But yeah, let's check this out. Let's collect these, redeeming our codes. So we got our Paldea Evolved, our first one, and yeah, I don't know what the best cards in here are for us, but hopefully we get some good stuff. Okay, starting out with Dunsparce. Find a Friend is always good. Tadbulb. Oh, if we go into who's it? Bellybolt. I think there's a Bellybolt EX. That's pretty decent. But Tadbulb, nothing special. Okay, Vespiquen. Let's see. 30 damage for each head. So. One of your bench Combee. So that's Vespiquen evolves from Combee. We choose one of them. Shuffle that and all cards into your deck. You can't shuffle a Combee into your deck. This attack does nothing. Interesting. So yeah, she's kind of ordering the bees to attack, it looks like. But yeah, that's a high damage for one energy, because you do have to fulfill this condition here. So that's interesting. You know, if you stack your deck with Combees, you know, maybe it's a pretty good strategy. Paldean Tauros. Let's see. Okay, this could be good. You know, it gets hurt, it does more damage. Then Combat Tackle. Oh, and it's able to do damage to itself. So it does Combat Tackle a couple times, then Raging Horns. Not too shabby. Spidops. Okay, I haven't actually ever seen this card or this Pokemon before. So that's pretty cool. What does he do? Shuffle each player's active Pokemon and all attached cards into their deck. That's kinda actually wild. That's a pretty crazy card, not gonna lie. And then 130 for 3 energy is also not too bad. I actually really like that. That's gonna really mess with people if you do that. That's really cool. But yeah, I'm not super familiar with all of the new Pokemon. I have never heard of Spidops before, so this is a cool one to see. And Mimikyu. Okay, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by EX and V. Ooh, we kind of like that. That's kind of fun to play around with. Okay, let's keep going. I'm pretty happy with that one. Okay, I like this card. Double draw 2 cards. Pretty nice. Second attack isn't too great. Pin Urchin. Yeah, I'd mentioned this before. I love this kind of art style. Very nice. Discard an energy. Ooh. So this is really expensive to do 70 damage. But if you can discard an energy, if you have a way to get these energies back too, that's a fun one too. Graphii. I actually don't know how to say that. Graphii. Don't know. But we get the Pokemon poisoned. Let's see, discard basic energies. It does 40 damage for each each type of basic energy. Interesting. Probably not the greatest there, but I know he has some. I think a different version of him does some pretty fun poison stuff. But yeah, it's not too bad. Not a horrible one. But nothing crazy. The nosedive. Okay. Good old fletching. Rabska. Ooh. From the discard pile straight to the bench. I like that actually. That's really nice. And honestly, you could have this in any deck because it's just a normal energy. So you could use it for any energy type. It's really interesting. You have to keep that in mind. And boss's orders. This one actually can be really useful. Switching an opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. Really nice. Okay, nothing too crazy in that one, but let's keep going. Shinx, what do you got, Shinx? Big Roar. Once during your turn, if the Pokemon is an active spot, you can switch out your opponent's active Pokemon to the bench. Interesting. So that's a really cool ability, but like thinking of when I'm gonna have this Shinx in play, it's gonna be like at the beginning of because it's gonna be at the beginning of the game, because I don't want a weak Pokemon like this at the end of the game when everyone's powered up and going crazy. So who knows? I don't know how useful that will be. Okay, Voltorb. See, nothing crazy here. Some weak attacks. Another one of these guys. Okay. Tinkatuff. These guys are just fun. The Tinkatink and Tinkatuff and Tinkatonk, I think. Let's see. Let's put one. Okay, so attacks. Okay, here's a stadium. Whenever any player attaches an energy card from their hand to one of their basic first off Pokemon and non-water Pokemon, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. That's crazy. Interesting. But if it's not basic, which is okay. So at the very start of the game, if you have a water deck, this is really nice. Or even, this is going to do it to, I'm thinking of basic Pokemon. You've got EX and Vs that are going to be basic. So very, very cool stadium there. And Hariyama. All of your Pokemon take 10 less damage from attacks. That's really nice because this Pokemon can just sit on the bench and then your Pokemon take less damage. That's cool. Okay, let's keep going. Sprigatito. Nice. Heracross. Pretty expensive for the damage you get out. Ooh, a different looking Pinurchin. Oh, and I'm saying it wrong. Pincurchin, actually. Pinkurchin. Who knows? Okay, Paralyze. You can only use this attack if the Pokemon used Stun Needle during your last turn. Okay, that's actually crazy. 120 in 2 turns. Not that bad. You throw this on very first Pokemon out. 1 energy. I like that actually. I like that a lot. Good old Tinkatink. Yeah. Ooh, a special energy. As long as this card is attached. Okay, so it provides just a normal energy. When you attach this card from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon, switch that Pokemon with your active Pokemon. Ooh. This is a nice card. I like that. And Luxray. Swelling Flash, what do you do? So this is, I'm pretty sure that was Luxio. No, this one's Luxio. Oh, what's the really baby one? Shinx. The Shinx we looked at earlier had an ability. Let's see what this one is. Once during your turn, if the Pokemon is in your hand, you have more prize cards remaining, you may put this Pokemon onto your bench. That's actually crazy. So this is saying we don't need any of these baby Pokemon, the basic and the stage 1, to evolve and put down Luxray. But we can just straight up put it down if we're losing. So if we have more prize cards remaining. And then Wild Charge does a lot of damage. And pretty good, especially for the cost. But it also does 20 damage to itself. So that's interesting. That's a fun one. So happy with that. Another Tadpole. Okay. A Palmy. These guys are cute. Azumarill. See, you heal. That's nice. and 100 damage for each head. I have such bad luck with these attacks, honestly. But that's pretty crazy. We like that. Tropius, okay. Also healing. Move all energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. So interesting, kind of one shot. And then it's nice that the energy gets moved to a different one. So that could be good if you start out with this guy, build him up, and then throw down, somebody you've been involving, or somebody you just drew, and then boom, power them up. That's kind of nice. Florigato, nice. What does Magic Whip do? Oh, you have to switch out your opponent's active Pokemon to the bench. Interesting. That's a fun one. Veluza, Ram, and Slim Screw. Oh my goodness. If you have no cards, you can use it just for 1 energy. That's kind of crazy. Okay, those are some fun ones in that deck for sure. Another Tadbulb. I think we started with a Tadbulb last time too. Lots of Tadbulbs. Another Tropius. We'll take that. We like that. Gothitelle. I actually really like this card in particular. So it's a cheap 120 damage. So just 2 energies, and you get to discard a random card from your opponent's hand. And that can be really important. And not only that, we get to do Read the Stars. So once during our turn, we can look at our opponent's top 2 cards and then put one of them back and the other at the bottom of the deck. So if we see they're about to get something crazy, we can stop that from happening. That's pretty nice. I really like this Gothitelle. I have him in her. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Are they all hers? That's a good point. Never thought about that. Or some Pokemon have only one gender? Who knows? Anyways, what I was gonna say is I use her in one of the decks I have in real life. I like that card. Rockruff, nice, except for this. Oh my gosh, 40 damage for... That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Okay, Larvitar. And another Mimikyu. We'll take it, we'll take it. Okay, here's that Stellar Crown. Ooh, I love turtles, by the way. Turtoga's nice. Switch this with one of your bench Pokemon. That's kind of nice because he has a really high retreat cost. Okay, that's fun. Slowpoke, okay. Ooh, from your discard pile into your hand. That's really useful. Lantern. Okay, there's a lot of text. Active Pokemon is now confused. Put 8 damage counters instead of 3 for this special condition. Oh. So if they attack and they, flip heads or tails, I don't remember. Probably tails. Then they take 30 damage. But now they're going to take 8 instead. Interesting. So does that last during the whole confusion? Even if like Lantern gets, put off back in the bench or something? I don't know. That's crazy. And then Thunderous Bolt. Not crazy damage for losing a whole turn. So nothing crazy there. Cyclizar, who knows? Yeah, speed attack isn't bad for, just 2 energy, get 50 damage in. Espathra. So I have never seen this card either. Okay, 50 damage is better for 1 for sure. I just said that it is okay for 2 with Cyclizar, but dang, okay. And Evolve Flittle, I think is what that says. And Dreadnought, nice. Nice. So if the damage 200 more prevent it, we like that. Ooh, and Hard Crunch isn't bad at all either. 160, potentially. Okay, there's some fun cards there. Hoppip. Prevent all damage. Okay. Dodge the damage. Nimble. I talked about this, I think already, but I really like the Nimble and the low kicks. The little, I think it's called low kicks. These kind of robot bugs. Let's see, are they even good though? Oh. Okay, that's so-so. Ooh, another special energy. This is really lucky we've gone 2 already. Let's see, it provides every type of energy. Oh. I didn't actually know you could have more than 1 special energy on a Pokemon. Okay, so it's basically energy we want. any energy. Sweet. Yeah, okay. Slackoth just yawning. Ooh, and now we have the whole Shinx, Luxio, and Luxray. We like that. Not a great attack, you know, but who knows. Ooh, even better sleep attack there. And this does, oh, dang, that's actually really good. You're gonna be doing 90 damage if you put it to sleep, and then next turn 90 damage if it doesn't wake up. That's pretty crazy. And then this is a really old Pokemon, but I have it that, and there's probably newer Pokemons that have the same ability, but that if the Pokemon is sleeping, it actually takes 20 damage during checkup as well. Okay, very interesting. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, Pikachu. Always like a Pikachu. Shroodle. Ooh, so basic energy from the discard pile is nice. Dendra, okay. Trainers are really important. Put a card from your hand in the bottom of your deck. If you do, draw cards until you have 5 cards. Okay, we like that. Palmot, nice. I don't think we have a Pamo. We have Palmy. But yeah, this is some good. 100 damage for 2, that's great. And 60 damage to an opponent's benched Pokemon, that's a good attack. And Mach Bolt, you know, not too bad either. Rabska, we talked about that guy already. And Spiritomb. Let's see, V have no abilities, interesting. Put this Pokemon in all attached cards into your hand. Okay, it could be good. I'll have to see what abilities the V Pokemon have. Slackoth, Fletching. Ooh, superior. What's this? Only use this if you discard 2 other cards from your hand, and put up to 4 basic energy cards from your discard pile into your hand. Interesting. You can't choose a card you discard. I was gonna say, you know, then it's just a regular energy retrieval. You just discard 2 energies. That's an interesting one. I'll have to think about that. I don't know which cards I'm in that we're discarding a lot of energies. Let's see. Okay, yeah, Magikarp. Skip Bloom. Let's see. Ooh. If any damage is done by attacks, flip a coin if heads prevent the damage. And Flowery Zephyr isn't that bad either. That's kind of just an annoying card to have, because it's like, you know, he could just be there forever. Interesting. Another low kicks. Okay. This one's a cool one. I think our other one isn't this cool. Let's see. If it evolved from Nimble this turn, this attack does 100 more damage. That's crazy. And then the speed attack isn't that bad either. Okay. That was a nice one. I really liked a lot of those cards we got, especially these 2 special energies. They just make such a big difference. You know, being able to switch out your Pokemon just by attaching an energy. That can be, you know, a game changer there. Traded items. What I don't even know what that means. Huh. Did I click something that trades it away? I have no idea. Okay. Well, that is sweet. We're getting about 20 minutes, so I think we're gonna call that an episode. We got some good cards. I think we might keep going through some of the code cards that I got from my brother before we start making a deck and doing some battles. Although I'm really itching to do some battles, get these daily quests, check out. I still don't know if we can even do these battle pass or what's the deal with that. But I'm excited to do that. But yeah, thank you guys all for watching. I hope you have a great day, and we will see you later.